Hi there, this is Trisha, and the reason why I'm making all of these videos is to show you that you don't have to spend thousands or hundreds of dollars on an expensive program or system in order to be successful trading the S&P E-minis. I know that's what everyone out there wants you to believe, but it's just not the case. If you have a basic understanding of, trading the E-minis, then these setups will work great for you. I'm going to show you the trades that I took using the two methods that I use, the two setups that I use. These are the trades for November 11th, and the setups that I use, you can get them at www.easyeminitrade.com. You'll get the setups, the indicators, the trading plan, the indicator files, the checklist for all of the entries. Everything that you'll need will be there, and you can get it for a fraction of what it's worth, believe me. I'm just selling it for $49.97. I have logged in hours of backtesting and time compiling the information that I'm willing to share. And the reason why I'm willing to share it for such an inexpensive price is because I'm like you. I make my living trading, not selling programs and systems. And quite honestly, I'm tired of people just spending thousands of dollars and just being made to feel inadequate that they can't do this, and everyone else is making money except for them. So with that said, I don't use any other setups except for two setups, and I use three charts, and I start out using a longer tick chart, which I use to determine the direction of the trade to make sure that I have confirmation. And based on this longer tick chart, it's confirming that I'm looking to go short this morning for scalp setups. My other setup is not setting up, so I'll be looking for scalp setups off of my smaller tick chart. What I do is I then drill down to the smaller time frame minute chart, and I have two specific indicators that I use, and these indicators have to have a minimum specific reading for a long and a specific reading for a short entry. Otherwise, no matter what, I pass on the trade. I then drill down to a shorter tick chart, which is where I take all of my entries from. Even though I'm using a longer tick chart for one of my setups, the entry still has to be confirmed on the shorter tick chart as well. I also have a scalp method which sets up on the shorter tick chart, but I still, again, have to have confirmation on my other two charts for entry. I use the smaller tick chart for entry because it gives me tighter stops, and it allows me to have tighter trail stops as well, and it allows me to take my profits without the trade going against me. This is a scalp trade that's set up at about 9:45 in the morning, and I have confirmation here. All of my indicators based on my setup criteria are in alignment, and I entered short at 897.75. And what I do is I have three ways that I can trail my stop. I use the pivot highs and pivot lows. I can use the moving average, or I can wait till one of my indicators crosses over. Personally, I use the pivot highs and pivot lows, but you can see if I would have waited for my crossovers on one of the indicators, I could have stayed in longer for a larger profit. But it's just my style, and that's how I do it. And of course, you can do it any way that you choose. But anyway, I did get trail stopped out for a 2-point gain. And again, it's a scalp, so you want to get in and you want to get out. Now, this is the longer tick chart later in the day, and I have two long entries that are setting up on here. So what I then do is I will drill down to my smaller time frame minute chart to make sure that I have confirmation on my indicators to take these longs, and then I drill down to my smaller time frame tick chart, and I still have to have the specific entry set up on there as well. So here is where one of the setups occurred on the longer tick chart, and it did confirm on the smaller tick chart. So I took this long at approximately about 1:55 in the afternoon, 1:52 in the afternoon, and I got in at 892.25, and I trail stopped, and I was out for a gain of 2.25. You can see where the circle is, the white circle right here. That's where I got trail stopped out. So that was how I chose to trail my stop. If you have a different method of trailing your stop, then obviously you could have got a better gain, but you know, that's not my style. This is my style. So it works for me. This was the second entry that showed up on the longer tick chart, and it's set up on the smaller time frame tick chart as well. So I entered, and actually I was stopped out using my pivot method for a gain of 0.50. If I would have used the crossover method, I would have had a gain of 2. But again, not my style. That's just how I trade. And so again, I stick to my plan. So that's the key for every successful trader, is you have to have a plan and you have to stick to it no matter what. You cannot make the rules up as you go along. That's when you find yourself getting into trouble, over trading, and not being consistent with your gains. This is a scalp setup that occurred at approximately 2:30 in the afternoon that I took, and I entered at 9:10:50, and I trail stopped and was stopped out for a gain of 1.25. Again, I had confirmation on my other two charts for the scalp trade, and I do that for every trade. And you're going to find that you'll have a higher odds of success if you do have other confirmation other than just trading off of a small time frame tick chart. So today, well, this isn't today, but for this day that I'm showing you, which was November 11th, I took 4 trades, +2 on the first trade, scalp trade, plus 2.25 using the setup on the longer tick chart, plus 0.50 for the setup on the longer tick chart, and a scalp trade of 1.25. So my total gain today was 6. If you did use the crossover method for your trail stop, you would have actually had a gain of +8. But again, that's not my style, and I stick to my rules, and you know, it works for me. And again, you can get these setups, indicators, and the trading plan and checklists for all of these entries. You know, it's 2 entries, setups, simple, that anybody can do. Just go to www.easyemintrade.com, and you know, it'll at least give you a plan and rules that you can follow and stick to, and you'll find that you'll be trading less. You'll be probably taking between 2 and 5 trades a day, but you'll be taking trades with high odds of profitability. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and look for my next video.